Okay guys, I just spent the last few hours sanding down all the faces, the doors, the seams on the doors, the faces of the cabinets, the ends of the cabinets. I just spent a few hours doing that. And before I got started doing that, I went to work this morning, but before I went to work, I come out here and I got that natural wood filler putty, and I put it in this crack right here, and I put it in this crack right here, all the way up and down through there, and then I put some right here and right here, and I put a little extra on it just in case it was to shrink, and it didn't, because the crack's completely full. I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a big scar out here. Well, this piece was pretty flat, and this piece was pretty flat, but this piece went like this. It had a hump in it. It was level here and it was level here, but it wasn't level in the center. I even put a 2x6 right here and put 8 screws in it, trying to stitch it down from the underneath side. I couldn't do that over here because this is where this cabinet's running down through there, and there's no room to do that. Not unless I cut a big old chunk out inside those two cabinets, I mean inside of that cabinet. But anyways, I got that all done this morning, and then I went to work. By the time I got back, this was all good and dry. Right here, there was nothing I could do about that. That's where they sanded that corner off, and I had to fill it. And then I've got a little bit there. But this all turned out pretty good along here. I started out with 80 grit and worked my way up to 220. And I got most of this out. There's still some right in here. If I ran a router along it, it would take that out, but I'm not gonna run a router along it. I think I figured out how they're messing these up. This is end grain right here. So if you think about it, if you took a belt sander and set it against that, if you were holding it perfectly level, or you're pushing on the nose or pushing on the tail instead of it straight in, it would cause it to do that in and out mess like I was showing you guys yesterday. I think that's what they probably did, but I started out with some, I think on the ends here, I think I did 150 and then 220, but most of it, I did 100, 150 and then 220, but I think on these ends, I take that back, I think I did do 100 too. But anyways, I started out on this up here I started out with 80 grit. But like I said, I did all this, went to work. When I came back, the first thing I did is I took a carpenter's pencil and just scribbled on it like this, all the way back and forth on both sides. And then I scribbled on the whole thing, just real lightly with the carpenter's pencil, so I can make sure I covered everything really, really good. And then in between every sanding, I did it again. And I stopped like right in here. I didn't go all the way up. And then when this got perfectly dry, I started out with 80 grit and took this hump out first. And it was real nice having the pencil marks there, because I could tell if I was getting over here, and I didn't want to get over here and dig a hole. So I was able to stop because I could see my pencil marks. And I just kept on doing it. It's a little bit bumpy right in here, but all I had was an orbiting sander. I didn't have a belt sander or anything else to use to try to get that out of there. But it slicked up really good. I got all that hair off of it by going to 220, was starting out and going from 100 to 220. And it feels really good. I've got it completely anchored down. I've sanded all these cabinets, sanded these cracks, sanded the doors top and bottom. Then went back with a vacuum cleaner, vacuumed everything, and then took an air hose and blew everything really, really good. And I think I've got them all ready to go. Now what I'm fixing to do is run me a piece of tape underneath here, drop me some plastic down on the floor so I don't get any stain, because I'm not gonna stain these, I'm just gonna clear coat them. I'm gonna stain this countertop a dark oak, a real dark oak color. I did one of my customers with it and it really looked good, but I painted their cabinets, it's almost a charcoal, almost black. It's not black, but almost black. And it looked really nice, and I liked the color, and I thought with these lighter colors in here, put this dark countertop in there, and that'd make it kind of stand out, and I think it'll look good. So I'm gonna try that, but before I do anything, I've gotta get the backsplash cut to fit, and then I'm gonna go for this. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Thank you.